Alright everybody, it's the Draftkings Roundup. I'm going to make this short and sweet because I'm not particularly confident in my lineup. Mostly because the two fights that I picked fell out, so I had to make some last minute changes here. But we'll give it a shot anyway. Coming in my number one pick, I got Giga. Expensive, the most expensive at 9,300. But I feel like it's a relative surefire pick. I made a video on it. I feel like he's got more extensive stand-up that will either lead to damage leading to a finish or enough damage to win a decision. Moving on, my number two pick is Said Kamarakhanov. Forgive me for butchering that name, but Central Asian, dominant. I feel like that's a pretty solid pick. 8,700 is a bit expensive, but I feel like it's worth it because I feel like he's going to get a finish. So I feel like those points will be worth it. Number three is Brito. Brito coming in 8,600 again, another bit expensive one. And normally I don't like to stack this high. I know you got to pick the ones you think you're going to pick. And I feel like Brito's going to do it. The thing that I was a little bit hesitant about was that is three very expensive guys in a row. So I feel like the bottom of my roster is hurting a little bit, but again, I feel like you can also get the finish. So I'll deal with it. And if it ends up biting me in the ass, forget it, whatever. Do what you can. Coming up next is Brahamish versus McGee. I'm picking Brahamish at 7,900. I feel like it's solid. I feel like that'll be a decision. I could be wrong, but I feel like a decision is coming out of that one, but a solid one at that. So, frick it, why not? After that, we've got Sherman versus Collier. I actually literally just made this one before I turned the camera on because I realized that the Gomez fight fell out, and that one it's so hilarious because I spent so much time between in the Gomez fight choosing either Gomez or her opponent, and I chose Gomez, who was the underdog. I just had a feeling, and then they fell out today. So what can you do? Insert Sherman. Hopefully something good comes out of that. I wasn't able to do as much research as I would have liked, but whatever. I'll live with it. And then lastly we got here Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia is facing Caitlin Chukagian. It's actually a rematch. I didn't know that before I was doing research for this fight. It's actually a rematch. Caitlin Chukagian won pretty handily in their first encounter, but I'm picking Jennifer Maia because in that first fight, Caitlin Chukagian was in the UFC for a bit. Jennifer Maia was basically just in the UFC. So I feel like Jennifer Maia has grown exponentially, and I know we're not supposed to do it because MMA math doesn't add up, and blah, blah, blah. I get it. But when you look at the performance of Jennifer Maia versus the performance of Caitlin Chukagian against Valentina Shevchenko, one of them went around and made it to a decision, but they lost. The other one got finished in the third round. Both are admirable, honestly. I couldn't make it 3 rounds with Valentina, neither could you. Caitlin Chukagian was on the end of that third round finish. Jennifer Maia won the first round against Valentina, mostly through grappling and grappling control. No real damage was done. However, it was still a round against Valentina, which was a shocker at the time. I remember watching it on this very couch, and I got spooked for a second. But when it comes to Caitlin Chukagian and Jennifer Maia, I feel like Jennifer Maia will be able to more effectively implement her game of grappling and jiu-jitsu against Caitlin Chukagian, who is no slouch, by the way. I know she's a bit of a gatekeeper in the division and all that, and lost to Valentina, beat Antonita, which is interesting, but lost to Jessica Andrade, coming off a rebound, good fight. But there's something in me. Something in me tells me Jennifer Maia is going to have learned from her mistakes from the first fight. She's a much better, more well-rounded fighter relatively. If nothing else, I feel like she's going to use her jiu-jitsu more. We'll leave it at that. And that's why I'm picking her for, how much is she? 7,300 on the lower end. Obviously my last pick. But I'm interested. I'm interested to see how that fight goes. And we'll see how my lineup does. And that's about it.